Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin, and welcome to your latest Chelsea news live stream. We're back. We're back doing a lot of live streams again. It's been a little bit of time in between last probably couple of months where there hasn't been too many live streams, but we are back. Hopefully, we can try and be as regular as possible. Look, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news from late last night, UK. There was some quotes. There was some comments from Enzo Maresca that dropped. I believe these are part of the press conference as well. I think the press conference was done as a pre-recording prior to the Panathinaikos game, but since then there must have been like a non-recorded portion as well, which might have happened yesterday. Who knows? And there's been some big commentary from Enzo Maresca in regards to leadership, and he's called out Reece James specifically. At first, when I saw those quotes, I was a bit shocked that is this really public? Because I can imagine, Enzo Maresca talking about these things privately with the players. In this case, obviously Reece James. And I'm pretty sure he would have hashed out all of those conversations. But I'm just a bit shocked that these quotes and these comments are public, and Enzo Maresca is quite nonchalant about it, and he's just saying it how it is, which is, look, from a fan's perspective, is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I love to know exactly what is going on. I think most of us in the fan base wants to know all the real things that are happening, so that we can understand the squad a bit better. We can understand the vibe in the dressing room. But sometimes I question, is too much honesty. Do you know what I mean? Like, is too much honesty sometimes could it be detrimental? Could it be too detrimental? Sometimes, you know how you're too honest for your own good. Sometimes maybe don't be so honest. Yes, be as honest as possible in private situation, in one-on-one situations, or in a team situation. But do you need to be that honest up front? This is what we're going to talk about. In one hand, I'm like, you know what? That's great. That's great that Enzo Maresca has called out Reece James and his leadership. This is what it's all about. And on the other hand, I'm like, it can create a bit of a different sensation in the fan base, especially in social media. Is this the type of attention that needs to be drawn towards Reece James, drawn towards us before a very important game? Look, it can work both ways. The player could take this as a positive manner and go on and work on all of this, or the player might not appreciate the fact that all of this is public. Now, Enzo Maresca might have said to Reece James that, look, I'm going to probably say this publicly. I don't know. And these are all the things that we're going to talk about. Big up to each and every one of you guys that has joined in. Nearly 100 of you guys are live already. Smash up the like button, guys. As soon as you come through, smash up the like button. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Martin B, good morning. Good morning to you. And Martin B is a new subscriber. Brilliant. Good to see. Big up to my man, Nehemiah. We've also got Marvo, Zaid, Shubra. Big up to you as well, my man. Zaid in the building as well. James Atwood, good to see you, brother. Valan is here in the building. Big up, Habibi. Big up to you as well, man. It's been a while, brother. Good to see you. And we've got Sanchelini in the building as well. Good to see each and every one of you guys. All right, let's get cracking on. Let's have a look at the comments first on social media, and then we'll try and make a discussion out of it. So the comments go something like this. All right, Maresca on James. I expected from him more in terms of leadership. For me, because you're a captain, you have to give more than the rest. I am the captain. I can give less. I am the captain. I can give less. No, I expected, and his teammates expected, to give always more in terms of leadership. I mean, this is as brutal as it comes. Like, he's literally called out Reece James publicly, and he's saying that I expect a lot more. As a leader, you've he seems like he's disappointed. He really is. Maresca is somewhat disappointed that he probably, in his expectation, thought that Reece James was going to give a lot more. Now, let's talk a little bit about this before we move on to the next comments. Do you know what? I've never ever felt Reece James was a genuine leader. Like, honestly, I know we've, as a fan base, talked about it. I know a lot of us hyped on about this topic when Reece James was on his way up as a youngster. Obviously, then there's been many injuries, this, that, the other. But when he was younger, because of his performances, his robust performances, a lot of people talked about him being a leader, him possibly being the long-term captain. Even I entertained it. But I did always say, look, it's coming a bit too early for Reece James. Maybe he needs a little bit more maturity, a little bit more time. Last season when we had Thiago Silva, I really expected Thiago Silva to be the captain. I think Reece James was the out-and-out captain. He was barely there. One of the reasons for the captaincy at that time from Pochettino is the captain needs to be able to speak English, which I thought was quite baffling. It's not about language. The captain really needs to be leading by example and communicating with the teammates what is expected. So Reece James always has come across as a quiet person, someone who's not very vocal. You can see him on field. He's not very vocal. He just does his thing. But I guess he's a different type of a leader where he wants to lead by example in terms of his performances on field. But this is where I think Maresca is finding it difficult when you're injured, where you can't really have your performance do the talking. You really need to step up as an individual, even when you're injured, to be there for your teams and to be there to guide your teammates, the younger players as well. Reece James is one of the senior players now. So I guess this is where Enzo Maresca probably felt that, I understand you're not playing, but you can still be a leader. You can still be a vocal leader. And I think that's where there's been the problem. So, and I guess that's where I feel like Enzo Maresca is a little bit disappointed. Now, let's move on to the next bit. Maresca says we have no proper leaders. So we've gone from Enzo Maresca talking about Reece James not being a proper leader and he's expected more to we have no proper leaders, which is, I think a lot of the fan base, large part of the fan base kind of talked about it as well, that it seems like we lack leaders. You can see it on field as well. I think now in recent times, some leaders are slowly brewing, slowly materializing. The likes of Levi Colwill, the likes of Cucurella, definitely looks like he's a bit of a leader. I think even Enzo Fernandez showed in previous seasons that he's more vocal. And even Caicedo in recent times has picked up the captaincy armband, but I'm not really sure how vocal Caicedo is as well. But yeah, Maresca says we have no proper leaders. When we don't have a proper leader, you need to build that. I think we don't have a proper leader. We don't have guys. You can see them. Probably Tosin is one of the guys that is. So the rest, we need to build them. Now, this is interesting. Tosin apparently is somewhat of a leader. I guess that comes with age as well. That comes with maturity. Maybe he had that attribute when he was in Fulham or even when he was growing up as a kid. Interesting that Maresca has called out that Tosin is more of a leader, and he's probably, I think what Maresca is looking for is someone who's a little bit more vocal, someone who's gonna be not just with the way they play, which is very important, but someone who can be vocal and guide others. Let's see what you guys have to say about this before we move on to the other comments in regards to this matter. Maresca wants Reece to come out of his shell. James should be doing more on the field when there's discontent from his teammates. He sometimes looks lost during the game when we are treated unfairly. Yeah, look, I mean, recent times we've seen Levi Colwill square up on the opposition. Maybe he just wants the captain to be far more involved, like galvanize the team, uplift the team, like go behind them, pat them on the back or scream at them if you have to, set out the defense, communicate, basically communicate. And maybe this is what he's missing. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Shubra, Enzo is more vocal than Reece. Remember the penalty incident last season? Absolutely. It was Enzo Fernandez that came in and, sorted the situation out. TRX means I think it's a high risk, high reward situation. It depends on how Reece. This is the thing. This is the thing, isn't it? Look, Enzo Maresca, he's been vocal about, obviously, Reece James this time, but he's actually been vocal about Mudryk as well. Literally post the victory against Panathinaikos, Maresca has come out publicly and stated that Mudryk is a bit slow. He's literally said Mudryk is a bit slow and his development that's why slow. And we have seen Maresca publicly say a lot of things about, Ben Chilwell, Raheem Sterling, who's no longer here anymore. He's with Arsenal, but he's said Ben Chilwell is not. He's not part of the squad. He's not. We've got other options available. He's publicly stated for him to leave as well. He's talked about Mudryk several times publicly, and now we've been, told about Reece James. Now, look, us as fans, great that we have a manager that is bold and so ruthless when it comes to, interviews and press conferences, and he's literally saying all of this publicly to keep us in light. But I just hope that being too honest down the track, I hope it doesn't burn him, man. Like, so far looks like Mudryk, he's taken it properly. All the public criticism from Enzo Maresca looks like Mudryk is really taking that on board. I hope similarly Reece James takes it on board. And I don't know, what does it mean for Reece James down the track? Can he work? Can leadership be something that can be worked on? I think it can. I think you can work to be a better leader, 100%. Or, is the captaincy going to be stripped off Reece James down the track if others show more leadership quality, like in this case, Tosin was called out, but soon we're going to talk about Levi Colwell. Maresca calls out Levi Colwell being a more of a leader. So these are some interesting things, and I just hope that Maresca, he talks about communication, right? He talks about, for a leader, you need to have good communication. I hope he's also being a leader of the entire squad, him being the manager, and he's also communicating all of these things with the players and the sporting directors, because the last thing you want Enzo Maresca to do is just do all of this publicly without talking to any stakeholders about it. I hope he's talked to Reece James, and I think he does state in the comments that Reece James knows this. He knows this. So, and I hope the sporting directors know it as well, because none of this should be a shock to anyone when he's publicly stating it. If it is a shock, then he could find himself in a bit of trouble. Adnan, big up to you. I hope Maresca knows what he's doing. Absolutely. I hope he's really building relationships with these guys before going into press conferences. That's so important. Otherwise, it can be bite him if results don't come. Exactly. This is the thing. And we got some heavy fixtures coming up. We've got Newcastle coming up tomorrow. We've got Man United after that. We've got Arsenal. So big, and we've already lost against Liverpool. Some big matches coming up. If it doesn't turn out nice for you, all of these public stating, it's a big shift from Pochettino. Pochettino was too friendly. He was a bit of a mate. He was mates with all the players. He was way too friendly, and we all know as a fan base, we didn't like that. Always putting his hand around, always babysitting them. Maresca is totally the other opposite. He seems like he's quite ruthless, he's brutal. But at the same time, I think he's trying to get that fine balance. I have seen him be more comforting towards the players as well. I think he himself has said it in press conferences that we are trying to understand the players. We are trying to, sort of put our hands on their back and guide them. But at the same time, I think he's harsh as well when he needs to be. He is realistic when he needs to be, which is good. I hope it just doesn't burn him. That's all I'm hoping for. Lord, this is good. It puts pressure on Reece to be more cautious of unnecessary red cards and be vocal. That's a good point. Yes, those unnecessary red cards needs to be eradicated away from his game, because sometimes it puts us in big trouble. Marvo, James will definitely react positively. He wants to retire at this club and loves this club. I hope that's the case. I fully expect Reece James to start against Newcastle. I feel like Reece James is still, when fully fit, which he is, he's very important for us. I need the captain to be there, and at the same time, I need his performances as well. So it'll be interesting how he leads from here on. Maresca's publicly called him out. It'll be now very interesting how he reacts to all of that. Mehul, big up to you. This needed to be addressed for long. Reece just hasn't been there for us for months and months. I think Maresca rightly shed light on the matter and what he honestly feels about it. True. I think deep down, all of us kind of felt that Reece James, one, you're never there. Two, yeah, your leadership needs to be a lot more eye-catching, evident on the field, not just by your performance, but you need to be able to guide the team with your leadership. Alhambra, big up to you, my brother. I don't mind what Maresca said. If you analyze what he said, Maresca has taken the responsibility to build Reece's leadership skills. I don't think he threw him under the bus. Look, yes, I mean, in one hand, we can say that he's just trying to get the best out of Reece James. I'm just concerned, like, certain things doesn't need to be public, I guess, Alhambra. That's all I'm going to say. Like, some of these comments directly from Enzo Maresca, they're quite ruthless. They're quite brutal. Now, do we need them to be public? Like, as I said, as a fan base, as a fan, oh, it's fantastic. These are the kind of information that we want. We want to be able to know exactly what's going on. But it does bring on unnecessary attention towards players. Like, not everyone's sensible. You have to remember, not every fan is sensible. Every fan has their own ways of reacting to things, and you just don't want unnecessary heat on Reece James. Do you know what I mean? You don't want fans to then have a backlash towards Reece James and demeaning him and talking down on him. I'm pretty sure Enzo Maresca has spoken about all of these things privately as well, unless he feels that this is the only way to get the best out of Reece James. I don't know. Unless he feels that I have spoken to him privately and I've not seen a change, and now I need to say this out publicly so he actually wakes up. I don't know. Maybe that might be a case. Maresca, I spoke with Reece. There you go. So he has spoken to Reece, and I expected from him more in terms of leadership. All right. So there you go. So everything that I've just said, maybe he has spoken to Reece privately and he didn't see the change. And now he's like, I need to call this guy out publicly. So we actually start seeing the change inside the changing room and different kinds of things. So I spoke with Reece and I expected from him more in terms of leadership inside the changing room and for different kinds of things. So maybe publicly was the only way to wake Reece James up. Let's see what you guys have to say for this. Siddhant, big up to you, my man. Means it is important. It will be important how Reece responds to the statement, because it will be crucial that he understands what point Enzo is trying to make. Otherwise, the team environment might get affected. I agree with that. Pagar, please, nobody should touch Reece James or take away that captainship from him, for he has done well and injury can befall anyone. Please. Now, fair enough. Young Cuenca, Miss, quick quiz. When was the last time we scored from a set piece? We are yet to address that, and we shouldn't ignore. Mate, I've been talking about this almost every other day. I don't remember. I really don't even remember. I don't remember when we scored from a set piece. Might have been Desasi. I don't even know. Maybe Desasi or Buddy Shield. I don't remember, or maybe even Chalobah. I can't remember. Honestly, this is something we have, not just from an attacking standpoint, but from a defensive standpoint as well. We need to improve. All right. Enzo Maresca on how Reece James responded to his message about being a better leader. So obviously these conversations have happened, and Enzo Maresca has privately spoke to Reece James about this. And now we're getting to know how Reece James has responded. Good. That's why that's what I said. He's on the way. He understands that we expected more from him. He's one of our guys from the academy, but this is one of the reasons why he has to show more in terms of personality. Now, let's see. This is look. This is actually fantastic from Enzo Maresca. He's privately spoken to Reece James for one reason or another. He might have felt that, look, maybe publicly it needs to be stated so that Reece James really starts working on his leadership. And looks like Reece James has taken this news, taken this information positively as well. And I'm pretty sure he's been told that Enzo Maresca will go public on it. Let's see how Reece James reacts to this. Look, if I'm Reece James, for the amount of games that I've missed for Chelsea Football Club, I'm taking on board all of this information from Enzo Maresca. Look, us as individuals, even people in the live chat, myself, we all have areas that we can improve on, and we shouldn't take it in a negative manner if someone's trying to constructively tell us how to better ourselves. So look, hopefully Reece James has taken on board of what Enzo Maresca has said, and I hope that he really works on it, and he's not stubborn about it, that no, I'm not going to work on myself. Look, personality is something, it doesn't, you can't just work on it one day and that's it. Your personality's changed. It takes time. It will take time for Reece James to change into a different personality, a different person. Do you know what I mean? Like, look, Reece James will be Reece James, but he needs to add a different attribute to his personality, to his leadership. So this will take time. This just doesn't happen immediately to change yourself as a person. Enzo Maresca says Levi Colwill is showing leadership ahead of Reece James at the moment. So Reece is there. He's on the way, but he's not there. So he needs to make an effort in that one. The one that is doing fantastic in this kind of thing is Levi Colwill. Levi probably at the beginning of the season was not a leader, but now you can see that he is one of the guys that is always speaking. There you go. So a couple of key things here. Always speaking, and he wasn't a leader at the beginning. So maybe these things definitely can be worked on. You might not start off as a leader, but as time progresses, you start feeling a lot more comfortable with your game. You start feeling a lot more comfortable with the squad. And now it looks like Levi Colwill. And then look, it's quite evident. Levi Colwill, besides the Liverpool one, I'm happy to chalk that off for the time being. And I don't want Levi Colwill to make these silly mistakes ever again. I do treat him as one of the better defenders. I rate him quite highly, and I need him to make sure that his performances are flawless consistently. Yeah, you might have that odd game here and there, but I don't want that odd game to be, every second game or third game. I need him to be more consistent on dropping performance. And that's what he's been doing in recent times. Bar the Liverpool game, Levi Colwill has been performing as a leader. by example. His performance has been very strong, and he does step up. He does show the aggression. The amount of times he's squared up on the player, and this is something, I guess, look, we as a fan base, we don't mind it. And now looks like Enzo Maresca likes it as well. It shows that he cares, he's passionate, and it shows that he's the man, he's the leader. But I just hope that Levi Colwill understands the fine line. Don't go over the limit too much in aggression where you end up getting a red card. So I hope Reece James Levi Colwill realizes that. But it's interesting that Enzo Maresca saying that he's now vocal. He is speaking all the time. And looks like for Enzo Maresca, that is quite important, that you need to be speaking. You know, you can't just stay quiet. When things are not going right, you need to speak up so that you can guide everyone else. Lever probably at the beginning of the season was not a leader, but now you can see that he's one of the guys that is always speaking. Let's see what you guys are saying about this before we move on to other comments. Marvo, James has some temper problem as well, like the red card against Newcastle last season. True. I don't know about, maybe temper, but you're right. Maybe it is temper. He just snaps. All of a sudden, he snaps, and he just needs to work on that. Being a captain for a club is a different gravy. He should take it positively, or else someone else should take upon those duties. Colwell has been applauded by the manager. Yeah, absolutely. Nehemiah, if Felix starts and Mudryk starts, yes, we beat Newcastle with Jurgensen on goal. Brother Nehemiah, out of nowhere, stick to the program, Nehemiah. Just random comments. We're not even talking about that. Because people are saying Levi, but it's way too soon. He still kind of lets his emotion get to the better of him. But I do see the leadership in him. Also, Caicedo or Cucu are better choices. Better. Yeah, look. And I think this is why Enzo Maresca is not giving Levi Colwell the captain's armband as yet. He likes the underlying qualities of Levi Colwell. He sees that there's a leader there. But you're right. Maybe it's too early to give him that responsibility because he can also be a bit of a hothead. You need to have the right balance to be a leader. You really do. And yes, Cucurella definitely is someone who's showing top leadership qualities. I guess this is why Enzo Fernandez is a leader as well. Caicedo, and then looks like even Tossen's name's been thrown in. Enzo Maresca, we need to build that. We need as much as we have, then it's perfect. Marc Cucurella is one of the guys, so we need more and more. So look, Marc Cucurella's name's been also thrown in. I have no issues. I think Cucurella would be a fantastic leader of Chelsea Football Club. Seriously, I think right now we have Enzo Fernandez. I think he's the vice captain, right? We've got Caicedo. So the leadership team is Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo. I think Levi Colwell's name's been thrown in, Tossen, Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez's position in the team is a bit iffy. Looks like he's been relegated to Conference League for the time being. I hope he can manage to come back. I hope he can perform and get better. Right now, when I look at all the other candidates, obviously Levi Colwell is one for the future. Definitely. He does show good leadership quality. Reece James obviously is the current captain, and he will continue. But I do want to pencil down Cucurella. I think if there was one ideal captain to be right now, I think it would be Cucurella, in my opinion. Cucurella is someone who's seen the hardship at Chelsea Football Club. He's gone through the hardship, right? Whether it's injuries, whether it's personal issues, whether it's bad form, he's gone through all of that. Different managers, much like Reece James as well. But Cucurella has been able to turn that around. He was moments away from being sold by Chelsea Football Club last season in the summer, before last season started. If you guys remember, he was moments away to go to Man United. He ended up staying. And then late last season, the last 6-7 games, Cucurella became a bit of a revelation when Pochettino started to invert him. And then he goes to Euros and he drops an absolute masterclass there. Cucurella wins the Euros with Spain. His winning assist, that helped Spain win the Euros against England. And then since he's come back for Enzo Maresca, Cucurella has been sublime. Like, Cucurella's game has gone to a different level. On the ball, off the ball, defensively, you don't see those erratic behaviors from Cucurella anymore. Remember those moments where he would step up and he'd lose the ball and then the opposition wingers would go in and clean up? You've seen that's been eradicated off his game. He would actually be an ideal captain for me. Honestly, he would actually be an ideal captain for me. And I think Cucurella, someone who's gone through the pain and now he's enjoying some good moments. he would be a great captain. But of course, right now it's Reece James. Young Cuenca, you doing the El Clasico watch along tonight? I think I might. We shall see, but I think I might. Think of the great captains. They were rocks, hardly ever a mistake. Big contribution, so it's more about performance than talking. Look, it's both. I'm not going to say it's one or the other. It's not just the performance. It's both. Because there are a lot of players right now that are performing well, but they may not be leaders. You have to perform and you got to be able to lead. You can't be just a leader and not perform. That really works against you. It needs to be both. It does need to be both. Let's see. All right, those are different topics. Let's talk a little bit more about this, and then we move on to Nicholas Jackson and Nkunku conversation. Big up to each and every one of you guys that are here. Nearly 300 of you guys are live. Take a moment right now. Would love to see 300 likes on this stream. So take a moment right now. We're going to talk a little bit more about the leadership, and then we'll move on to the next topics. Smash the like button. Would love to see 300 likes on this stream. If you're enjoying this conversation, enjoying the interaction, guys, smash the like button. If you're here for the first time as well, make sure you subscribe. Let's get to 37,000 subscribers. We are just due for it, man. It's taking a bit too long. We need to get to 37,000. Shaka, Colwell could be a good captain. Cucurella comes across a bit too jovial off the pitch to hold it down as a captain. That's a good point. He does. All of these Cucurella, eating a paella, Cucurella, sipping a Hamla, Erling Haaland, Trembler, and all of that stuff. Yeah, maybe he comes a bit too jovial. Maybe. But look, sometimes a little bit of jovialness is fine as well, man. Bro, EBR Enzo can do whatever. What's IBR? What's IBR? Enzo can do whatever he wants until he's giving the performance like this. I don't care. He can call out any players he wants. I will back him. At least he's not delusional, unlike other Premier League managers. Not true. Palmer is our best player, but he can't be a leader. I think, look, I've seen Palmer talk post-matches. He also comes across someone who can potentially be a leader down the track. Maybe not now. He is young, but down the track, I think there could be a leader in there. Right now, let's not give him more pressure to lead the football club. You just do your thing. And then, if down the track you become a leader, you become a leader. You guys shouldn't bring problems in the team. What Reece James has done for the club when he was fit, no one of the people you guys mentioning has done that, and he is dedicated to the club. So, brother, no one's bringing problem to the team here. We're not the ones who are publicly going out there and stating Reece James is not a leader at the moment. We're not the ones who are doing this. Our manager has done this. This is what I love how, like, certain fans will come out, oh, don't start problems. We're not starting nothing. This stream has been a calm stream, man. We're just having a discussion. I've not gone after anyone. I've literally seen what Maresca had to say, and I've been commenting about it. No one's starting no fights here. No one's starting no issues here. So yeah. Big up, Miz. I think Colwell should be captain with Reece as vice captain. Look, I think right now nothing will change. Right now nothing will change, and that's fine. Down the track, if Enzo Maresca feels that, look, maybe Levi Colwell is the ideal captain for us, then I'm sure it'll change. I'd be real. Okay, I'd be real. Fair enough, man. I'm too old for that kind of stuff, man. Yeah. Write the whole thing. Don't break it down for me. Don't abbreviate it. I pray for an upset. I hope Aston Villa lose points and Brighton. So if we win tomorrow, we can go above them. True. That's actually very true. I didn't even think about it that way. I was wondering if I'm even going to watch those matches, but now maybe it's worthwhile doing a hate watch along on those. I don't think I will. If I'm doing the watch along for the El Clasico, I need to sleep. Marva Viga, another leader in the making. Yeah, perhaps. But it's early days. Let Viga concentrate on his game first, and then we can worry about him being a leader. But yeah, maybe there is a leader there. He also is very well spoken. He speaks from the heart, and I like that. To be honest, Miz, I don't see him as a leader. Maybe later Neymar also evolved the same way. True. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's now move on to the next piece of news. Maresca rules out Jackson on the left and Nkunku up front to fit both in. No, I don't think so. I don't see Nico in wide areas. Sometimes it can happen in games, but no, I don't see him there. So that's coming from Saraya Shiraz. By the way, big up to Saraya Shiraz, man. I mean, she's been asking some top questions, and yeah, she's definitely on the way up in terms of up and coming, journalist. She's doing a brilliant job asking the right questions and everything that the fan base really wants to know. Now, a lot of us have spoken about the fact that maybe Nicholas Jackson could potentially play out wide, and he does have the attributes to do that. But it looks like Enzo Maresca doesn't want to do that because obviously we've got enough players in wide areas, and he doesn't want to just do that to fit Nkunku in. Looks like Nkunku's only way to fit into this particular team is you're going to have to play as a striker. Looks like you're going to have to play as a striker. And for me, honestly, Nkunku, he'll have to up his game, man. Not from the point of scoring and all that. I think it's quite clear Nkunku's got the quality to score goals. He's a ruthless finisher. He's probably one of our best finishers along with Cole Palmer. But I think in terms of all the other attributes, pressing, crossing off passing lanes, off the ball work rate, all of that matters, man. It really does matter. And this is where Nicholas Jackson pips him. I know Nicholas Jackson isn't the greatest in terms of finishing, but in recent times he's been scoring goals, of course. And I still have my verdict out in terms of whether Nicholas Jackson can take us to the next level to lead us in a title challenge. I still have my doubts on that. But I understand why Jackson starts, and I understand why Mudryk starts as well for similar reasons. But I think Pedro Neto can also challenge in that particular sense on Mudryk, because I think he has those attributes that Maresca is looking for in his system. But Nkunku, look, if he's not going to play out wide, and look, Nkunku out wide, it doesn't work either, to be honest. Nkunku's true position is actually with a striker. Have a striker up front, and he plays just behind a striker as a second striker or a number 10. But right now we have Cole Palmer, and it just makes it too difficult for Nkunku. Which, look, if it continues to be like this, I don't think Nkunku will be okay with simply being a Conference League starter. I think down the track, if it continues being, and I've said it in recent times as well. I know last season, at the end of last season, and just prior to this season starting, I thought under Enzo Maresca, Nkunku would be a very important player. I really did think that. But it looks like now the way, Maresca is playing, it's very difficult. Nkunku will have to up his game in all those other facets off the ball. And if he doesn't, he's going to end up continuing being a Conference League starter. And I think down the track, that's not going to be enough for Nkunku to stay at Chelsea Football Club. So one to look out for. Let's see what happens with Nkunku. And look, I think ultimately, players that are not going to be a fit, unfortunately, will have to leave the football club out. And that's just the way it's going to be looked at. Let's see what you guys are saying about this before we move on to the next topic. Maresca said multiple times he doesn't see Jackson as a winger at all. Nico's so good on the wing. I don't get why Enzo doesn't see him capable to do so. Because we've got other options as well. Maybe he likes the fact that Nico's playing as a striker and he wants to work on Nicholas Jackson as a striker. Who knows? Maybe Nicholas Jackson can evolve into the striker that we think we need. I just personally think maybe he can't be in the ilk of Drogba and Diego Costa style. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. Absolutely happy to be proven wrong. I think the manager would rather someone who is better in one-on-one situation than Jackson for the wing position. Jackson is doing okay at the moment. Yeah, that's definitely a point as well. Fairboy, how do we know that Nkunku doesn't press enough? This baffles me, honestly. It's not about pressing enough. It's about pressing the way Maresca wants you to press. And it's not just about the pressing, it's about cutting off passing lanes. You'll notice when Jackson's playing, the opposition finds it very difficult. Jackson, Mudryk, Cole Palmer, all of them, they press very, very nicely as a unit, and they cut off passing lanes. So it's not just about press, just run around. No. Anyone can run around. It's about pressing the way Maresca wants you to do. And it's about, sometimes you don't even press. You make sure you cut off passing lanes. This is why oppositions, they struggle. They struggle to sometimes play out of the back against us. And we have created mess on the opposition where we've pounced on their mistakes and then we've scored goals. We've seen Cole Palmer intercept very, very intelligently up front. We've seen Nicholas Jackson has created a lot of havoc up front with his way of pressing, with his ability to close down passing lanes, which then created opportunities for others. We've seen these. We've got all of these examples, even this season and last season. These are the things that Nkunku's got to work on. So I'm not saying that Nkunku doesn't press. He doesn't know how to. Anyone knows how to press. It's about pressing the way Maresca needs it in his system. That's the most important part. Jackson ain't one-on-one drop shoulder kind of guy. Yep, absolutely. It's good to have healthy competition, in my opinion. Remember the days when our bench used to be crap? True. All right. Now, let's move on to the next topic. This is an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. Josh Acheampong has an agent talking to Chelsea, and they want to get the player's pathway absolutely right at such a crucial stage of his development. No rush on decision. Now, look, a lot of people are very, very touchy-feeling about this particular news, man. They're like, oh, Chelsea, don't do this again. He's another superstar in making. Don't freeze him out. Give him the contract. Look, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, we have bigger things to worry about right now. Bigger fish to fry, as Robbie would say in AFTV. Right now, we have a lot of young players anyway, and we've got a lot of things to worry about. Getting upset about Acheampong's situation on the club, or why have they frozen him out, this, that, the other. Look, we need to understand. It's no one's fault at the moment. The club has actually offered him a new contract, and the player is not fully convinced about his pathway, and rightly so. The player's looking at Reece James and he's looking at Malo Gusto, and he's like, well, how am I going to get minutes? And he's probably at a situation where he feels, I don't want to just get some petty minutes. I want proper minutes. He probably feels very highly about himself. He wants to play on a regular basis, and maybe he's also getting offers elsewhere, right? There's offers from Real Madrid, apparently. There's offers from other clubs. I don't know. Look, if he does go to Real Madrid, if he's going to get a lot of minutes, I don't think he will straight away. He'll probably have to earn his spot over there as well. But the bottom line is, he doesn't feel fully convinced about Chelsea Football Club. So it's not the fault of the club, and I don't think it's the fault of the player. It's just the fault of the circumstance. Do you know what I mean? Like, as I said, Chelsea has given him a contract. And as a player, Acheampong, he doesn't feel like, if I sign the contract, then I'm stuck here. And I'm not really sure whether I've got a future. In my personal opinion, maybe he does. Like the way Reece James gets injured on a regular, even Malo Gusto picks up the odd injury. I'm sure if Acheampong, if he shows the right characteristics, if he shows the right development, improvement on a regular basis, I'm sure Maresca comes across a particular manager that will integrate the player in. He just needs to stay patient. He's young. I don't know why he doesn't want to stay a little bit more patient. Time's not running away for you, brother. You're like, I'm pretty sure this kid's 18, right? So he needs to, I would suggest him to stay and be patient. Your time will come. But I understand what Chelsea's doing as well. He's only got 2 years left in his contract. And Chelsea's got to make a decision. Either you sign a contract extension now, or we're going to have to think about getting rid of you. 17. He's 17. He's 17. So what's the rush? What's the rush? Stay here. Learn from top players that we have. Learn from a good manager, and your time will come. If you're patient enough, your time will come. Just got to relax. And it looks like Maresca rates him. Maresca in a recent press conference said it's a shame that it is what it is at the moment, the situation. And it looks like, he rates him. He's 18, not 17. Okay, all right, there you go. Whatever the case is, he's still young. All right, thank you, Shubra, for sharing this. Chelsea are still giving time to Josh Acheampong to decide on his contract, but wants a solution as soon as possible. Contract proposal remains available on table. Understand Acheampong's family is active and involved in this negotiation, up to the player. So, look, as I said, I don't think we need to be upset on any individuals, any group. I don't think we need to be upset with our sporting directors. I don't think we need to be upset with our owners. I don't think we need to be upset with our club in general. I don't think we need to be upset with our manager. Some people are saying, oh, Maresca has no say. Maresca has no say. Well, what do you want Maresca to do here? Maresca's got other things to worry about besides an 18-year-old's contract extension right now, which is not the most pressing thing. Maresca's more worried about Reece James not being a proper leader. Do you know what I mean? Maresca's worried about picking up 3 points in the upcoming match in the Premier League against Newcastle because we want to have some level of success this season. Maresca's got bigger things to worry about. So people need to understand, he doesn't have any say. He doesn't. And ultimately, this is why you've got the sporting directors. Sporting directors make the sporting decisions. Maresca can give his opinion, but he's not the final decision maker on any of this. This is how the modern day managers, this is how it all works. They have their opinion, they give their opinion, they give their suggestion. Now, if Maresca truly felt that, no, you know what? I need to keep Acheampong. He's serious. He's a very good player. I need to integrate him. He's going to become an important part of our squad. Then I'm pretty sure the directors will pay a lot of attention to that. But at the same time, the directors will also say to Enzo Maresca, that guy, listen, mate, like, we've got a contract situation with him. If he doesn't sign, then we might have to sell him. So we can't be held hostage to a young kid as well. We have to understand. We cannot be held as a hostage to an 18-year-old, whether he's asking for a lot of demands, like, I need to play X amount of minutes. I need to be shown a pathway. I need to earn X amount of money. Look, he's already got a contract on the table. It's up to him. I'm pretty sure the contract is decent enough for a kid, right? So let's see what happens. All right. Looks like that's the latest. Let's see if there's any other latest news that's been circulating around since then. No, seems like that is the latest. Let's take some of your comments, ladies and gentlemen. Take a moment right now. We've got well over 300 people live. Take a moment right now. Let's see how many likes we've got. Would love to see 300 likes, guys. Would really love to see 300 likes on the stream. We've got 106. That's fantastic. Can we bump it up to 300? We've got more than 300 people. I'm going to take some of your comments. Keep pumping those comments. I want to take some of your comments right now and make a discussion about it. Meanwhile, let's get to 300 likes. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying. Shubra, this up to the player in most cases means he's gone. Yeah. Look, if he's gone, he's gone. Pure profit. And good luck to him if he goes anywhere else, right? One thing I know, we can't keep all of them kids. Some will go, and I'm okay. Yeah. And now look, Acheampong is not going to be the first kid that we've let go. We've let go of many, many kids in recent times, right? Over the last 4 or 5 seasons. Tariq Lamptey, Tino Livramento, Lewis Hall, Billy Gilmore. So many we've let go of. So, we'll move on. Players will move on. So it's not a big deal. Not a big deal for me, honestly. We've got, as I said, we've got bigger worries ahead of us. Much bigger worries ahead of us. Adnan, the Goldberg and Felixes of the pseudo-journo world, I'm sure, are kicking a fuss about this. Of course they are. Look, each to their own. I'm not here to judge how people need to react as a fan. You do you, man. I mean, if you want to kick up a fuss, kick up a fuss. Man, Enzo Maresca's strong personality is a big plus. I agree. Also, Anselmino coming next season, another competition for Acheampong. I believe Anselmino is a CB, right? He's a centre back. Is he right back? Acheampong is really a right back, yeah? So, yeah, maybe that's another one. Gremlin, if Josh doesn't think James will get injured, he's dumb. Well, oh, yeah, okay, yep, I get you. It's about time Reece getting his responsibilities back, yeah. Nehemia, my lineup, Sanchez. But this guy's Nehemia is on a different. Like, the rest of the live chat is in one area. I'm talking about one area, and Nehemia he's watching some other live stream right now. Nehemia is like, yeah, look, whatever you're talking about, I don't really care. This is what I'm gonna call Nehemia program. Stick to the program. Nehemia is going out there and putting out, lineups for the Newcastle game, and we're talking about Josh Acheampong. This guy's he's in a different planet. He's watching something else. I love it. Big up to you, Nehemia. Big up. Adeoya, some fans cannot be satisfied. They ask for a backup to Reece, and we get Gusto. Now they're complaining Acheampong can go on loan. True. Those days where we're like, oh, we need a backup for Reece James. Then we get Malo Gusto. And now, oh, why'd you get Malo Gusto? Look, Acheampong's leaving. Like, man, you can't have it. You can't have it all the way. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you have to be sensible. Absolutely. Rick, there are reasons we wanted more experienced players in this team. Now let's get Osimhen is a leader and get an experienced defender that can be a leader than an experienced goalkeeper. Fair enough. Was never comfortable with Reece James being captain. It was clearly a decision made by the sporting directors. Fair enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining. More than 300 people, which is fantastic. Once again, I would love to see 300 likes. We're just lacking a bit on the likes. Only 123. Would love to see 300 likes. All of you guys are here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this stream. Got something out of it. Hope you enjoyed the discussions. I thoroughly enjoyed all the commentary that you guys gave, which made it a sensational stream. I shall see you guys for a watch along soon. It's most likely going to be the El Clasico, God willing, inshallah. If not, we'll see if there's any Premier League matches as well. But I think for now, I think the El Clasico is probably the one that's going to get penciled down. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya. Goodbye.